Exempt adept, grade 7 degrees equals 4 to the square, which refers to Chesed, the correspondence of Jupiter. See diagram, Gebura. Strength, the fifth emanation of the absolute, the Sephira of Mars. See diagram, Hadit. The infinitely small and atomic yet omnipresent point. See Libra Legis, Equinox 7, also Libra 555, Harpocrates. The Egyptian god of silence, the babe in the egg, the image of the metaphysics of the Buddhist philosophy. Ahamkara, the ego-making faculty. Ananda, bliss. Asana, posture, any correct position of holding the body. Absolutic world. The archetypal world that gave birth to three other worlds, each containing a repetition of the Sephiroth, but in a descending scale of brightness. Babylon, Our Lady, Equinox 5, the vision and the voice. Beth, second house, second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is the letter of wisdom. Magic, Mercury. Bhagavad Gita, sacred hymn of the Vedanta philosophy, translated by Sir Edward Arnold in the song Celestial. Bina, understanding the third emanation of the Absolute, the first He of the Tetragrammaton, the Mother in the Trinity. See diagram, Bina, understanding. Abhidhamma, the collection of treatises which embody the metaphysics of the Buddhist philosophy. Ahamkara, the ego-making faculty. Ananda, bliss. Asana, posture, any correct position of holding the body. Absolutic world. The archetypal world that gave birth to three other worlds, each containing a repetition of the Sephiroth, but in a descending scale of brightness. Babylon, Our Lady, Equinox 5, the vision and the voice. Beth, second house, second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is the letter of wisdom. Magic, Mercury. Bhagavad Gita, sacred hymn of the Vedanta philosophy, translated by Sir Edward Arnold in the song Celestial. Bina, understanding the third emanation of the Absolute, the first He of the Tetragrammaton, the Mother in the Trinity. See diagram, Bina, understanding.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying.
All the symbols are interchangeable, for each one containeth in itself its own opposite, and this is the great mystery of the supernals that are beyond the abyss. For below the abyss contradiction is division, but above the abyss contradiction is unity. And there could be nothing true except by virtue of the contradiction that is contained in itself. When that was given to the master Therion, how obscure a saying and hard that seemed to him. Yet in the light of the above paragraphs, how simply obvious the proposition has become and how far short of truth. What then can be meant by the title of this compilation, Little Essays Towards Truth? Do we not all assume a perfect illogical conception of truth as an entity of the supermundane order, whence a whirling flame and flying light subsist? Do we not instead?
Please don't scroll.
The universe is conserved by the duplex action involved in the formula. The disappearance of father and mother is precisely compensated by the emergence of son and daughter. It may therefore be considered as a perpetual motion engine which continually develops rapture in each of its phases. The sacrifice of Iphigenia et Aulis may be taken as typical of the formula. The mystical effect is the assumption of the maid to the bosom of the goddess, while for the magical, the destruction of her earthly part, the fawn composes the rage of Aeolus and bids the Danaid set sail. Now it cannot be too clearly understood or too acutely realized by means of action that the intensity of the joy liberated varies with the original degree of opposition between the two elements of the union. Heat, light, electricity are phenomena expressive of the universe is conserved. It would not be possible to enumerate the common errors. Nay, it may be said that to think of it at all is in itself an error. For its nature is pure being, that is to say nothing, so that it is beyond all sole intellection or intuition. Thus then the utmost of our essay can be only a certain wardenship, as it were a tiling of the lodge wherein the mystery of silence may be consummated. For this attitude there is sound traditional authority, for Harpocrates, god of silence, is called the Lord of defense and protection. But his nature is by no means that negative and passive silence which the word commonly connotes, for he is the all-wandering spirit, the pure and perfect knight-errant, who answers. It would not be possible to enumerate the common error. Purity is a passive or at least static quality. It connotes the absence of all alien admixture from any given idea as pure gallium, pure mathematics, pure race. It is
one thing. You're a man, you know? That's fine.
Hello? I'm wondering when my soul is gonna go home. Hello?
Oh, is this the Queen? This is the Queen.
No, this is John Kitover. He's a pussy bitch that wants to run his fucking pie hole like he fucking, wants to get kicked out.
Hello?
Oh, I thought it was the Queen. Sounds like the Queen of, is she back from the dead?
No, it's John Kitover. He's running for Congress in Chicago. I saw that message you sent me last night on text, John.
That's correct.
He's running for Congress in Chicago.
I'm about to hurt.
Well,
The soul's journey home.
What time is it?
It's time for your bath.
It's time for you to go work out so you can get your fucking figured out, you fat fuck.
Time for your medicine, time for your medication.
Play your fucking space drum without a fucking lesson.
is this Kermit the Frog for real?
Nah, dude. Hold on, where the fuck is my phone? I don't even know where the fuck my phone is.
This is the true idea of silence. It is our will which issues, perfectly elastic, sublimely protean, to fill every interstice of the universe of manifestation which it meets in its course. There is no gulf too great for its immeasurable strength, no strait too arduous for its imperturbable subtlety. It fits itself with perfect precision to every need. Its fluidity is the warrant of its fidelity. Its form is
As I
always
stand upon
very...
it with a harpoon in hand, I will yell, "There you are, my white will, Kunan."
And
And throw the
always...
harpoon to the top of your
You know
brain.
what I have to do? I've got to go and get the old horse. Get the old horse
Perfection.
with the old, with the
Perfection.
hounds. and
That
get a
is
good,
silence. Perfection
and
is
get a
ever
good
the
old,
same.
whiplashing, you know? Oh, hello, boys.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, T, right now. The Doge guy, he's from America, but he's probably more articulate in your language than you are. Be careful.
What? You think I'm...
Dude, you sound like a nonce, from Australia that doesn't understand, any of it.
Oh boy, look out everybody. Nature heroes here.
Okay. I understand what's going on. No, I'm not afraid. Pile it on. Go on.
Is nature hero? Are you technically like a nymph, or are you an insect man, or what kind of creature of the forest are you, Doctor Nature?
I thought I was like a superhero.
Oh,
like in the Avengers.
You're a forest superhero.
Yeah, I'm like a nature-based hero. Like I have the powers of nature. Like I can make vines come out of my hands or whatever. You know, like Poison Ivy from Batman. Batman Forever.
Oh, that's a cape. Those aren't wings. I thought those were wings in your PTR.
I think it's like a viney protuberance. It's like Dr. Octopus.
Oh, I thought that was just ferns.
But what about your face mask? Because, like, is that just decorative? Because it doesn't actually, like, conceal your identity or anything, right?
No, not at all. It's tape. It's actually wrinkle tape. So I just leave that on all the time, and it makes the wrinkles in my forehead.
Cool. What about your nose? When you pull that off, does it, like, take the blackheads out?
Yeah. I thought this was good because I could show you some other ones. I mean, I'm not going to because it's a waste of time. But the other ones didn't look like me at all. Yeah, this one clearly, like, it looks exactly like my face. So that's why I selected this one.
Nature Boy, tell us. Do you reckon solar power and wind power is going to save the world?
No. Industrial civilization is inherently exploitative and unsustainable and will inevitably result in a collapse. So sooner or later, humanity will be back in the
Oh boy, saved myself there. Saved myself. I love how when you exit, the person's voice crescendos or amplifies right at the very end there, as if like saying, "No, don't leave me." It's very funny. So that's called Nature Man.
Yeah, I'm like a nature-based hero. Like I have the powers of nature. Like I can make vines come out of my hands or whatever. You know, like Poison Ivy from Batman Forever.
Oh, that's a cape. Those aren't wings. I thought those were wings in your PTR.
I think it's like a viney protuberance. It's like Dr. Octopus.
Oh, I thought that was just ferns.
But what about your face mask? Because, like, is that just decorative? Because it doesn't actually, like, conceal your identity or anything, right?
No.
Okay, so I could go back to the book that I've been reading, or I should probably just read the book of the law at this point. This book was dictated in Cairo between noon and 1 p.m. on 3 successive days, April 8th, 9th, and 10th in the year 1904. The author called himself Iwas and claimed to be the minister of Hopakrat, that is, a messenger from the forces ruling this earth at present, as will be explained later on. How could he prove that he was in fact a being of a kind superior to any of the human race, and so entitled to speak with authority? Evidently, he must show knowledge and power such as no man has ever been known to possess. He showed his knowledge chiefly by the use of cipher of cryptogram and certain passages to set forth recondite facts, including some events which had yet to take place, such that no human being could possibly be aware of them. Thus the proof of his claim exists in the manuscript itself. It is independent of any human witness. The study of these passages necessarily demands supreme human scholarship to interpret. It needs years of intense application. A great deal has still to be worked out, but enough has been discovered to justify his claim. The most skeptical intelligence is compelled to admit its truth. This matter is best studied under the Master Therion, whose years of arduous research have led him to enlightenment. On the other hand, the language of most of the book is admirably simple, clear, and vigorous. No one can read it without being stricken in the very core of his being. The more than human power of Iwas is shown by the influence of his master, and of the book upon actual events, and history fully supports the claim made by him. These facts are appreciable by everyone, but are better understood with the help of the Master Therion. The full detailed account of the events leading up to the dictation of this book, with fashionable reproduction of the manuscript and an essay by the Master Therion, is published in the Equinox of the Gods.
These passages.
The universe. This book explains the universe. The elements are nuit, space, that is, the total of possibilities of every kind, and hadit, any point which has experience of these possibilities. This idea is for literary convenience symbolized by the Egyptian goddess Nuit, a woman bending over like the arch of the night sky. Hadit is symbolized as a winged globe at the heart of Nuit. Every event is a uniting of some one monad with one of the experiences possible to it. Every man and every woman is a star, that is an aggregate of such experiences, constantly changing with each fresh event which affects him or her, either consciously or subconsciously. Each one of us has thus a universe of his own, but it is the same universe for each one as soon as it includes all possible experience. This implies the extension of consciousness to include all other consciousness. In our present stage, the object that you see is never the same as the one that I see. We infer that it is the same because your experience tallies with mine on so many points that the actual differences of our observation are negligible. For instance, if a friend is walking between us, you see only his left side, I his right, but we agree that it is the same man. Although we may differ not only as to what we may see of his body, but as to what we know of his qualities. This conviction of identity grows stronger as we see him more often and get to know him better. Yet all the time, neither of us can know anything of him at all beyond the total impression made on our respective minds. The above is an extremely crude attempt to explain a system which reconciles all existing schools of philosophy. The law of Thelema. This book lays down a simple code of conduct. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt.
The object that you see.
The law of Thelema. This book lays down a simple code of conduct. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. This means that each of us stars is to move on our true orbit, is marked out by the nature of our position, the law of our growth, the impulse of our past experiences. All events are equally lawful and every one necessary in the long run, for all of us in theory, but in practice. Only one act is lawful for each one of us at any given moment. Therefore, duty consists in determining to experience the right event from one moment of consciousness to another. Each action or motion is an act of love, the uniting with one or another part of Nuit. Each such act must be under will, chosen so as to fulfill and not to thwart the true nature of the being concerned.
The law of Thelema. This book lays down a simple code of
Thelema is the Greek for will. It has the same numerical value as agape, the Greek for love. Each action or motion is an act of love, the uniting with one or another part of Nuit. Each such act must be under will, chosen so as to fulfill and not to thwart the true nature of the being concerned. The technical methods of achieving this are to be studied in magic, or acquired by personal instruction from the Master Therion and his appointed assistants. The New Eon. The third chapter of the book is difficult to understand and may be very repugnant to many people born before the date of the book, April 1904. It tells us the characteristics of the period on which we are now entered. Superficially, they appear appalling. We see some of them already with terrifying clarity, but fear not. It explains that certain vast stars or aggregates of experience may be described as gods. It explains that certain vast stars or aggregates of experience may be described as gods. One of these is in charge of the destinies of this planet for periods of 2,000 years. In the history of the world, as far as we know accurately, are three such gods: Isis, the mother, when the universe was conceived as simple nourishment drawn directly from her. This period is marked by matriarchal government. Next, beginning 500 BC, Osiris, the father. Then the universe was imagined as catastrophic. Love, death, or resurrection is the method by which experience was built up. This corresponds to patriarchal systems. The moment of change from one period to another is technically called the equinox of the gods. Now Horus, the child, in which we come to perceive events as a continual growth, partaking in its elements of both these methods and not to be overcome by circumstance. This present period
explains that certain vast stars or aggregates of
Now, Horus, the child, in which we come to perceive events as a continual growth, partaking in its elements of both these methods, and not to be overcome by circumstance. This present period involves the recognition of the individual as the unit of society. We realize ourselves as explained in the first paragraphs of this essay. Every event, including death, is only one more accretion to our experience, freely willed by ourselves from the beginning, and therefore also predestined. This god, Horus, has a technical title, Heru Raha, a combination of twin gods, Ra, Hor, Kuit, and Hor, Krot. The meaning of this doctrine must be studied in magic. He is symbolized as a hawk-headed god enthroned. He rules the present period of 2,000 years, beginning in 1904. Everywhere his government is taking root. Observe for yourselves the decay of the sense of sin, the growth of innocence and irresponsibility, the strange modifications of the reproductive instincts. He rules the present period of 2,000 years, beginning in 1904. Everywhere his government is taking root. Observe for yourselves the decay of the sense of sin, the growth of innocence and irresponsibility, the strange modifications of the reproductive instinct with a tendency to become bisexual or epicene, childlike confidence in progress combined with nightmare fear of catastrophe against which we are yet half unwilling to take precautions. Consider the outcrop of dictatorships, only possible when moral growth is in its earliest stages, and the prevalence of infantile cults like communism, fascism, pacifism, health crazes, occultism in nearly all its forms, religions sentimentalized to the point of practical extinction. Consider the popularity of the cinema, the wireless, the football pools and guessing competitions, all devices for soothing fractious infants, no seed of purpose in them.
The present period.
Consider the popularity of the cinema, the wireless, the football pools and guessing competitions, all devices for soothing fractious infants, no seed of purpose in them. Consider sport, the babyish enthusiasms and rages which it excites, whole nations disturbed by disputes between boys. Consider war, the atrocities which occur daily and leave us unmoved and hardly worried. We are children. How this new eon of Horus will develop, how the child will grow up, these are for us to determine. Growing up ourselves in the way of the law of Thelema under the enlightened guidance of the Master Therion. The next step. Democracy dodders. Ferocious fascism. Cackling communism. Equally frauds cavort crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the child. The new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time.
Popularity of the
Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, often destroyed by the herd, but he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers, it kills all indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence. It is always restriction. We are all treated as imbecile children. Dora, the shop ex, the motoring laws, Sunday, suffocation, the censorship. The censorship, they won't trust us to cross the roads at will. Fascism is like communism and dishonest into the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news that does not meet the requirements. Yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state should be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invited to cooperate with the Master Therion in this, the great work. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state shall be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invited to cooperate with the Master Therion in this, the great work. Fascism is like communism and dishonest into the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news that does not meet their requirements, yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state shall be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invited to cooperate with the Master Therion in this, the great work. Om. Fascism is like communism and dishonest into the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news that does not meet their requirements. Yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds. In the words of the famous paradox.
Yeah, I'm getting. I think I have a question, right? So you're saying that because God said for Abraham to go kill his son, right? That is a morally. Who said? What was the word? What was the term you used? You said that it was.
Did you give up your own? What's the point of giving up your phone?
Because I was not mentally stable.
But you still have this phone. How did?
Yeah, I have this phone and another phone, but I gave away the other phone that I need.
Voila. Actually say.
How y'all doing?
We don't do black people in here. I'm sorry. Oh,
you don't?
Yes, we.
Sorry, brother.
Yes, we do.
You don't do black people?
Not in here. We do them in the other room.
Well, black everywhere.
I gave you a mod.
You do know that giving someone a mod doesn't do shit, right?
I gave him a mod.
Yeah, but what?
It does do that, Randy. Haha. It does that. It moves you straight to the audience.
Oh, Evan is here. Hi, Evan.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, Dr. Isa?
He said mods don't do anything. Here, let me
Oh,
mod.
Dr. Dodge. Hey, what did you guys do with Randy? Hey. Sorry, I tried to mod you, Randy, and I moved you. Sorry. I tried to mod you and I moved you.
That's what happens when you mod Keegan.
I never heard Keegan laugh so hard before.
You said, time out. You said, what does a mod do? And I'm just sharing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, giving him exactly. But you proved my point that if you mod him, someone can move him down and kick him. Like it's just not. Doesn't do shit.
Don't do it, Keegan.
Don't do it.
Like for example, we can say bye bye to Doge. Not bad. I like Edmund when he's calm and there's not like office rockers, you know.
Really? Are you projecting? Because I hear you going crazy on this app every day. You're retarded.
Get him.
Crazy is a spectrum, nigga.
Crazy is subjective.
It is subjective. Where's Simon?
I don't know, he always runs away when we start going about his subjectivism.
What is objectivism? What is subjectivism?
Edmund, when are you gonna do a debate room between me and McZed again? I've been missing that nigga. Edmund?
I don't know. Do you know how to be creative? You click create a room, you put in a title, and then you see if you can create a room.
I want you to moderate it.
Oh, I see.
Like the good old days.
But he does rooms. We did the other day. Well, he did the other day roast room for Diego, and it worked actually quite well. We were like roasting people for
No, but I want to
2
debate
hours.
with McZed. I don't want a roast room. It's just a debate room.
What do you want to debate McZed for?
I want to listen to McZed tell me what I believe and how I'm wrong about believing how
my alleged belief is not really my belief. I want to listen
But
to it.
isn't that what you do all the time with all the people? You tell me that I am not a Catholic. You
But
tell
you're not a
the
Catholic.
Jews that you're a better Jew than them. You tell all the time people
I
what they're
keep Torah. They don't keep Torah.
Okay, Issa, why don't you just change the room title to the roast of Dr. Rabbi, aka Randy McDickerson, and let's just do an impromptu roast room of Rabbi because honestly, he's worthy of being roasted right now, as always. And then if Dr. McZed pops in, we'll do a little debate between you two. But until that time, I think we should conduct a roast of Rabbi Randy McDickerson.
Somebody says, I like Rabbi, but Rabbi is very hateful. Rabbi is very hateful. He is like talking to someone on Looney Tunes.
Why don't you debate me instead?
I am kind of like Bugs Bunny.
Oh, you see, I changed the room title and Meyer came in right away. Meyer, you go first.
No, I'll pass. I don't blame you.
All right, well, if nobody else will go, I'm more than happy to roast the shawarma eating, kanafa eating, Christian Greek Orthodox schmuck known as Randy McDickerson. I can definitely roast this Jordanian shawarma eating, goat milk drinking.
He is a shawarma eater, actually.
There's nothing wrong with shawarma and goat milk, just not together. I mean, I will say, Rabbi did take us to a very nice shawarma place. It was very good.
That's right. Anyways,
And then he took them to a strip club.
No, that was wrong.
No, that was a different trip.
And it wasn't me who took them.
It was the David Bobadilla.
What was you at?
No, yeah, it wasn't me.
Regardless, I'm very low energy, so now is the best time to bully Rabbi. I've been very low energy.
Okay, you're actually a low IQ, dirty dog, a scumbag, and you have no life. This is not projection, FYI. So don't claim that this was projection. This is your roast of you, some Toronto Jordanian motherfucker who should never have gotten to Canada. You should be back in some fucking dust village outside of Amman, picking up garbage on the highway. That's where you belong, Dr. Rabbi.
I'd rather not work on the highway, but otherwise I take that.
You also don't deserve roast. Roast is for Americans.
Oh.
Damn, you're not even worthy of being roasted. That's how low of a dog you are.
Well, then why are you roasting me?
Well, see, that's Meyer's standard. For me, I've been to your country. I know your people. I know, what you're all about. And, I don't know. You have wasted years of your life on this app, talking about nothing. And I've been recording it. I don't know why. But, honestly, I think maybe your voice, is it because it sounds like a frog? Is that maybe why I think you've got a good, layover voice for videos?
No, it's Bugs Bunny. That's my Bugs Bunny voice.
Is there something about a rabbi and a rabbit that are connected?
Which country have you been to? You've been to Jordan?
He's been to Jordan. But like some time ago, and he did nothing. He just went there to suck dick with Al-Fakhouri family.
I've never been to Jordan.
Well, you should go to Jordan. It's actually
Who went to Jordan to suck dick? Was that Edmund?
It's actually a very...
Yeah, I didn't suck dick, but I did go to Jordan twice for vacation.
When you sit on the beach of the Dead Sea and you see the Jordanian mountains on the other side, they are quite pretty. But I'd rather
I want to go to Jordan. I was planning to go to Jordan before the 7th of October, and then I had to cancel everything.
You can go there. There's if you want to do pilgrimage, there's Mount Nebo where Moshe Rabbeinu died, and there's the Aram too.
Yeah, that's pretty beautiful. There's an amazing restaurant there. Unbelievable restaurant. It's so good.
Well, the only thing you should eat is my ass, though. Respectfully.
That's projection. You can save that for your ladies that you find on, what is it called? What's the gay sex app you use?
I have low energy, man. How about we keep the peace, nigga? Just one day. One day of peace. And tomorrow,
give him the heart. Give him the heart.
Yeah, give me the heart.
Give him the heart.
Give him the heart.
Give him the heart.
What did
Come on, everybody put a heart for Rabbi.
What are the meat ingredients in Jordanian shawarma?
Meat ingredients?
Yeah.
There you go, Randy.
No.
Screenshot it, Randy.
It's not always.
He gave you the heart.
It's not always meat. It can be chicken. I like chicken more than meat. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but I'm calling it meat. But you don't have plain chicken. I actually like turkey better than chicken. But what about
Turkey shawarma?
Ooh, turkey shawarma. That sounds interesting.
I like turkey shawarma with lamb fat dripping down it.
Wow. Ooh, I think you're right about that.
I mean,
Wait,
you can have chicken.
turkey with lamb.
With lamb, so turkey and lamb on the spigot.
They put the turkey on the spit, so you're mostly eating turkey, but they put like rings of lamb on top, and as it drips, like it gives a flavor. It's really good.
I'm gonna give a heart for that turkey lamb shawarma. Wow.
What happened to the good?
I don't think I have ever eaten a shawarma in my life.
Oh, we gotta get you a shawarma.
You seem to be more of a Starbucks.
I'm gonna go
with
this
fresh
weekend
falafel.
to see if I find a shawarma in the Jewish district here.
If you want shawarma, you need to go to Syrians.
Switzerland has issues with kosher meat because they got they don't want to humanely slaughter the animals. They want to shock them to death. So Switzerland has import issues.
If you want shawarma, you go to the Syrians, not the Jews. I'm sorry.
Wait, shawarma in Zurich.
Syrian shawarma is where it's at.
There's a place called Sim Sim, and it's a Lebanese restaurant.
No, Lebanese.
That's probably good. I would go there.
Lebanese are horrible. I'm just telling you. Lebanese.
Only Lebanese are showing to me for shawarma.
You probably have them be more over pronounced, but I'm telling you, Lebanese food is shit. Like
it says best halal shawarma and shawarma fries.
Anyways, if you know a Syrian guy, go there. That's why.
Oh, I found one. Syrian Sham restaurant. Syrian.
Now we're
the shawarma here is genuinely amazing and comes with many sides. Okay, I will.
Can you telegram me the place?
Yeah, I will.
Wait, what are the options? What options are you offering?
Hold on. Let me first send this to Randy. Telegram.
Oh man.
Magdiclas, here you are. What did you say? What are the options for what? Of restaurants or of these places?
No, within the restaurant.
Let me check. Spicy coffee.
Oh no, but that seems like an restaurant.
It says spicy cocktail. It has vegetarian, is hummus, fatoush, muhammara, mutabo, couscous, moussaka, falafel, fatayer, spinach, rakayek khudra, and rakayek jibni.
Is that the Kabbalistic menu?
Yeah, but
$72.
Yeah, Habibi, if you see an Arab place with a vegetarian option, you leave immediately. That's just
vegetarian was definitely
vegetarian.
House made. How do you say?